Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy Sunday. Typically this video, the weekly Home Fragrance Roundup, goes up on Saturdays, but this was kind of a hectic work week for me. My boss was out of town, so I've had to do a few extra things around the studio this past week, but I did still luckily have some time in the evening to be able to enjoy some home fragrance after I got home. So we're gonna dive into the candles and wax melts that I was enjoying over the course of this past week. Before we get into everything, I will list and link in the description box where you can find any of the things that I'm mentioning in today's video. There are some discount codes down there. I will have information for the candle sales that are happening this weekend at my personal favorite candle companies. I don't obviously list all the candle companies. Also down there, if you are newer to my videos or you are newer to home fragrance and you're looking for some more maybe in-depth information about candle crocks or candle lamps, or maybe you have a lot of leftover wax that you maybe want some ideas for what to do with that, I do have some videos that I always link in the description box that might be helpful. Again, if you are newer to the home fragrance world, you might find something down there that, I don't know, floats your boat. So feel free to check it out. Anyway, I hope you guys all had a great week. Like I said, my week was a little bit hectic. It was good. We did a lot of really cool projects, but it was a little bit more hectic. So next week is going to be another slightly stressful week. We've got a lot of events, and then we also have a really big wedding next weekend. So next weekend might be another slightly funky video situation where maybe it goes up on Sunday. We'll see what I can make happen. But anyway, I like filming these videos. This is kind of a great way for me to decompress from work. So also this weekend, it is so hot here in Portland. Like, it is ridiculously hot, and I'm gonna try not to leave the house if I don't have to. So I have some good filming time between today, which is actually Saturday for me, and tomorrow on Sunday. So anyway, without further ado, let me know what you were up to this past week, and also let me know what you were burning and melting in the comments down below. If you have started to get your Kringle Halloween orders from the classic Black Jar launch, I would like to know what you guys think about those. So definitely let me know. But yeah, you guys, let's get into it. I have some new things to share. I have a little Scentsy haul that I'm gonna share in this video. It's gonna be a little bit of a hodgepodge today, so strap in and let's get started with the tour of what is currently burning downstairs and what I am using in my candle crocks. And then we'll meet back here and we will discuss some other things. So let's get into it. Burning here in the formal living room is Kringle Reserve Sweet Cream. I love this one. It is really delicious. It's kind of basic. It is essentially like a strawberry whipped cream. But despite being a more kind of simple, straightforward, basic fragrance, I think it's done incredibly well. It's very rich. It's very authentic. It also has a fantastic strength and throw, and obviously I love the quality of the burn with Kringle. So this is one of those fragrances that just makes me really happy. It's probably the last one that I'm gonna get out for the remainder of this year. So it's definitely more of a spring summer type scent for me from Kringle candles. So I'll be retiring this one once I finish it up. But I do have a couple on hand for next spring and summer, so you'll be seeing her again. This is one of those reserve fragrances where it kind of tends to sell out somewhat frequently, and it does come back in stock, but it usually takes them a while to get it back in stock. So if you ever happen to see it on the website and you're curious about it, I would say definitely think about adding it to your cart. It's yummy. I really love this one. This is one that I think is also quite guest friendly. I usually get a lot of compliments on it, so If you're in the market, I would say pop this thing into your cart because it's delicious. All right, let's move on. Burning here on the coffee table in the family room is HomeWorx Blueberry Cheesecake. Sorry that it's so dark in here. It's incredibly hot where I live this weekend. We are in the upper 90s, so I have most of the blinds and curtains closed in the house. We are currently mostly living in the dark around here. So anyway, gotta try to save on those air conditioning bills. I cannot believe how hot it is outside right now. Anyway, it's fine. I'll move on. HomeWorx Blueberry Cheesecake is so delicious. This to me is like a perfectly baked cheesecake with the most delicious Maine blueberry compote spread over the top of said perfectly baked cheesecake. This is delicious. Again, there's not a whole lot else happening here. It just literally smells like a blueberry cheesecake, but it is insanely well done. I have gone through multiple of this particular fragrance. When it was first released, I bought quite a few of them. This was actually my very last backup, so I am glad that I'm enjoying it, and I will actually repurchase this one in the future. If you've never tried it, I love it. I don't get a sour cheesecake note from this one at all. It just smells really rich and decadent, not sour. But if you are someone who typically gets that sour note from cheesecake type fragrances, then obviously skip it. You might smell that, but I do not. It's really rich, really delicious, and one that I think is absolutely worth checking out if you've never tried it in the past. This one is, I think, a couple years old at this point. I don't remember the pour date, but this one has really good strength and throw. So a lot of my older HomeWorx candles that have been sitting for the last couple of years, I feel like as I am taking them out and burning them, the strength and throw has really improved. This is something that I have always found to be the case with most of my HomeWorx candles. Every once in a while, there's just a true dud that like never develops into anything. But a lot of the fragrances, if they're a little lighter initially, I'll just let them marinate or cure for a little while, and then they tend to do a lot better for me. So this one has definitely been in my collection for a little while, and I would say the strength and throw of this particular one is definitely a good solid 8. So I'm gonna miss it when I finish it, but like I said, I love it, and as long as Harry keeps putting this one out, I will certainly be purchasing it next summer and the following summer after that. So here's hoping it sticks around. All right, let's move on. This is the candle crock that lives in the corner of my kitchen. I'm actually going to be retiring this crock back into the laundry room and bringing my candle lamp back out here in the coming weeks. I am going to be lamping quite a number of my backup fall candles. So yeah, I need to bust my candle lamps back out. So yeah, this particular crock will go back to the laundry room, but I've really enjoyed having it out here for the last few months. I am obviously a huge advocate of candle crocks. I don't just use them for problem candles. I actually use them more than not for just fragrances that I like having as constant background scents, if that makes sense. In here, you can't see it because it is a Kringle medium jar, but it's in there. There you can see the wax. That is my beloved Kringle Sea Breeze. I have been burning my Kringle Sea Breeze 4-wick in the family room from time to time over the last few days here. And so I have really liked having the Sea Breeze in this crock to kind of amp up the strength and throw even more in terms of that specific fragrance. But also, I think this one blends well with a lot of other things that I usually have going during the summer. It's not the best pairing for a lot of these Halloween scents that I've been testing out, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, I love this one. Now, this particular medium Sea Breeze has been in here for, I think, 2 solid weeks at this point. potentially a little longer, and it's definitely starting to peter out, but I can still smell a little bit of that sea breeze, so I'm gonna give it a few more days, but I will need to switch this one out here shortly. I might just give my Crocs a break completely for a week or two. I am gonna start decorating for fall here, not next week, but the following week. So yeah, I'm gonna be switching all of my different home fragrance accessories around, and I'm really looking forward to it. Who else is so excited for fall? I really can't wait this year. Anyway, let's move on. Burning here in the master bathroom is the Kringle Spellbound Collection Sacred Protection fragrance. I have been burning this one mostly in the master bathroom here for the last several days. I've really enjoyed this one. It is a like a holiday tree fragrance. It smells more like a fresh outdoorsy holiday tree scent. I think this particular fragrance would have probably been better in a holiday collection, but I do really like it, and I think it's really well done. So if you like those more fresh, outdoorsy types of holiday tree fragrances, you might want to pick this one up and, I don't know, maybe find a candle sleeve or something for it if it's not your, you know, Christmas decor vibe. Certainly this is not my Christmas decor vibe, but the fragrance itself I think would be great for the holidays. So I do think that overall this year's Spellbound collection is not quite as well received as last year's. It's a little bit of a bummer because the fragrances in the collection, there are several of them that are really well done, and I'm afraid that they're not going to get quite as much love as they maybe should, but I do appreciate Kringle lowering the price point of the Spellbound collection candles. If you're not aware, Kringle dropped the price from $30 down to $25 for the launch, which is happening this next week here. So the launch for both Spellbound and Boo Crew is set for August 15th at noon Eastern. So anyway, I appreciate that they lowered the price, and I hope that that encourages some people to at least give these a chance. Worst case scenario, definitely think about picking this up if it eventually goes on a really good clearance sale price, because it is a lovely fragrance. So anyway, more to come in terms of these in-depth reviews for the Spellbound collection. As you can see, I'm trying to burn them at least, 2-3 burns. This is actually the 4th burn of this one here because I've been enjoying it so much. I've been letting it go about 3 hours a day for the last few days here, and it's a really nice fragrance. So anyway, for what it's worth, like I said, more to come in terms of in-depth reviews. I'm going to try to get those all up this next week prior to the launch, so stay tuned for that. All right, let's move on to the next candle. This is the candle crock that lives in the very back bedroom of our house here. And in this candle crock, I have had Kringle Reserve Blackjack. I believe this has now been in here for the last 2 weeks. The fragrance has mostly petered out. I can still smell it a little bit, so I think I'm gonna let it go today and tomorrow, but I think after tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this crock off and give it a break for a few days. I do leave my candle crocks on 24/7. This particular fragrance is actually a favorite for me in the Blackjack line. It wasn't released too terribly long ago, so it's newer to the lineup. It is a more, I would say, masculine, perfumey type of scent, which is a fragrance category that has really started to grow on me in the last couple of years. I used to not enjoy these types of fragrances quite as much, but I'm glad that I came around to them because I do think there is definitely a place for them in my home. I like having fragrances like this as background scent, especially in bedrooms. A lot of times in our master bedroom, I will do fragrances like this because they're just nice to have kind of floating in the background. Anyway, I really like this one, and if you have not tried Kringle Reserve Blackjack, I would definitely put it on the list, as long as you are okay with the more perfumey scents. Anyway, this wax that's in here is not gonna go to waste. I'm going to use the remainder of that to create more of my fire starters. As we are kind of barreling towards fall here, I am working to reuse as much of my wax as possible to create those fire starters. We use them to start our fires in the backyard. And Craig and I are definitely more homebodies, especially in the fall and winter, and we just really like sitting out in our backyard in front of the fireplace and just kind of decompressing after work or on the weekends. So it's great to be able to reuse this wax to help us get those fires started. Hope you guys enjoyed that little tour of what's currently happening around the house in terms of home fragrance. Definitely smells pretty good around here. In fact, if you happen to have Kringle Reserve Sweet Cream and the HomeWorx Blueberry Cheesecake on hand, if you have them both in your collection, you should really try pairing them together because they are such an amazing combo. It really does smell so good downstairs right now. I kind of can't wait to get back down there. So anyway, normally I like to get going here first with any candle empties from the past week. I don't have any to share, so I figure let's mix it up completely. And we're gonna actually get started with wax melts that I was using this week. I do have some empties in terms of clamshells, so let's start there. And then I also want to share just a little Scentsy haul with you guys. I recently got a couple of orders as well as my club, so I figured I would share that in today's video. So yeah, let's talk wax melts. So for the most part, my wax melts from this week were Scentsy, but I did use one bar, I guess you could say, of my beloved Kringle Country Candle Sweet Stuff. This fragrance was discontinued from the Country Candle line a while ago. I discovered it kind of late, and I was really bummed about that because turns out I love this fragrance. I think I have 10 bars left in my collection. This is one of those fragrances that I've been asking Kringle here on my channel in these videos, but also behind the scenes. I've literally been messaging people saying, you need to bring this back. This is such a great fragrance from the Country Candle line, and I hope it's one of those scents that's moved over to the classic jar line. Kringle did mention when they discontinued the Country Candle line that there would be an opportunity to move fragrances from Country Candle into the classic jar tumblers that I just showed you here. So this needs to be one of those scents. I'm telling you, this is so good. This is a slightly more floral version of the Sol de Janeiro Cheirosa 62 fragrance. I talk about that particular perfume a lot because I love it. I have loved that scent ever since Sol de Janeiro released the Boom Boom Cream many years ago. I fell in love, and I've been using that Boom Boom Cream forever. The smell of it is just so intoxicating. Now this is a little bit different where it is slightly more floral than that Cheirosa 62, but just equally as amazing. I love this. Also, this is a really great performing bar, so I'm kind of nursing the last 10 that I have on hand, but I just really need Kringle or someone else, another candle company. If it's another candle company, that's fine, but I need it. I need this in a candle. So whoever can give me that, let me know and I'll buy it. I love it so much. It's so good. Okay, the rest of these are pretty much all Scentsy. So I was trying to use up some of my like summer collection bars, just so that I don't have a ton that I'm taking over into next year. Obviously there's always a few that carry over that I don't have a chance to finish, but my goal these days isn't necessarily just to like collect Scentsy. Like I'm using it, right? And so I like to make sure that I have room in my collection that when the next spring summer catalog comes out that I can buy some new things, and anything that is a must-have for me goes in the club. So anyway, these are the last few like summer type scents that I was trying to finish up here, because I tell you what, I'm so ready to move on to fall. I'm so over summer. So we have an entire clamshell of whipped frosting that I finished this week. I was actually mixing this with Candy Dandy and with strawberry taffy as well. So both of these are empty as well. I picked them up during the Bring Back My Bar that just happened in July. I think that the bars are currently still available on the Scentsy website. I'm not sure when the last date is for that. I'm not a consultant. I buy all of this stuff from my bestie Lisa, who is my consultant. So anyway, you can ask Lisa when the last day for the Scentsy Bring Back My Bar for July 2025 is. I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, Candy Dandy. I really liked Candy Dandy. And this is one that I would vote for again. I think that I gave this one at least one vote. Most of my votes went to apples and oats for this last go around. I did add another apples and oats to my club, by the way. You'll see her in a second, but man, this Candy Dandy was delicious. I really liked it a lot on its own. It's fantastic, but I also like doing a cube of this and of the whipped frosting because it just adds even a little bit more creaminess to it. Delicious. If this ever comes back, yeah, I'll definitely repurchase it. Now, what I wouldn't vote for again and what I would not repurchase is the strawberry taffy. In fact, do I have two in here? Yeah. I purchased two of the strawberry taffy because I really thought that I would like it, but I don't know. Like, there are a number of strawberry scents that I really do like from Scentsy. I've definitely had some favorites over the years, but this is not one of them. It is a creamy, like, strawberry taffy, but something about it just smells a little funky to my nose. It's definitely a more artificial type of strawberry note. And you know, in strawberry taffy, like when you stick your nose into an actual piece of strawberry taffy, it does also kind of have that like slightly artificial vibe as well. So I guess it's authentic in that respect, but I didn't love this. I liked the Candy Dandy a whole lot more in terms of the sweet like candy scents from this last go around here. I used 1 cube of this Happy Birthday here because I ran out of where's the whipped frosting? Yeah. So whipped frosting is what I was mixing mostly with these two like candy scents here. I love whipped frosting, so delicious. I think they just need to make this permanent. They really should. It is delightful. So anyway, finished one of those. And then yeah, the 1 cube from my beloved Happy Birthday. And then I think there was only one other Petals and Peaches. This was, I didn't add it to my club. I kept talking about how I needed to do it and then it just got away from me and now it's no longer available. I will just hold out hope that I can vote for this to come back in the future. This is, I think, one of the best peach scents that Scentsy has ever made. And it's such a great performer. It's really beautiful. It's really good. I love this one. So anyway, and then these last few bars here, I actually, I'm gonna start digging into these probably next week. So I've got some almond croissant here and some apples and oats. I'm so ready for fall, you guys. All right, which one of these? Okay, this one I'm gonna put back in here. Next, would you like to see a little Scentsy haul? Okay, let me go through this. I did place a couple of orders towards the end of July here, and then also my club processed in July, which was less than ideal, but I skipped already once within the last 12 months here, so I couldn't get another skip. I did push the date back, however, for it to like ship to me. So anyway, moral of the story is Scentsy had an opportunity to purchase the almond croissant as a part of a flash sale in July at one point, and I did make a note of it on my community tab. So hopefully you saw that and hopefully you were able to get your order in before they sold out. I was surprised that it didn't sell out super fast. It was kind of around for, I feel like, a week or so, maybe even like a week and a half. This is one of my holy grails. You're gonna see this in my club as well. This is such an authentic, amazing almond croissant fragrance. I've loved it since it was originally released, and when it was originally released, I put it in my club. I cannot get enough of this one. I think it's a great year-round fragrance. It's kind of a nice generic bakery scent, I guess you could say, but I really like this starting in the fall and throughout the holidays. It is so rich, so delicious. It goes with so many of my fall fragrances. It goes with so many of my holiday fragrances. It's just a great staple, and I was so thankful that it was included in this random flash sale because it allowed me to pick up, what did I buy? I think I bought like I bought 12 bars. Yeah, I did essentially like 2 6-packs. So anyway, I got some extra almond croissant, and then also the Wicked Emerald City fragrance was re-released, and I mentioned that when I went to go visit Lisa in, was it June that I went to go see her? Gosh, was that long ago now? That's wild. Anyway, Lisa slipped me a bar of this in my suitcase, and when I got home, I warmed it, and I was like, whoa, lady. First of all, why didn't you tell me how amazing this was? And then she reminded me, actually, I did tell you that you'd probably like it, and you're like, I don't like musicals. I can skip it. It's true. I'm not a musical person. I know my friend Drew is horrified by that. I'm really sorry, Drew, but I don't know. I'm not a musical person. It's fine. But I tell you what, I love this Wicked Emerald City fragrance. So even if you are not into Wicked the musical either, you gotta check this fragrance out, especially as a like fall. Again, I am so ready for fall and the holidays, I tell you what, but I think this is gonna be one of those staples for me. I put it in my club. In fact, we'll see, but I think I put 2 bars in my club. If I didn't, I might need to. I just can't get enough of this. It's cranberries, it's brandy, it's perfect fall spices. I hate that it's a licensed bar because that means it's a little more expensive, but man, it's worth it because it's also an incredible performer, you guys. I get several days out of this one, and it is potent almost the entire time. This is so good. I just love it. I think they should have released that as a part of the Christmas collection. So I got a few bars of that just to have on hand, and then also this is my club delivery. If you're new around here, I'm pretty strict with my Scentsy club. No more than 15 bars, no more than every 3 months. So I have to pick and choose very carefully what goes in my club. Now, I made a couple changes for this particular one that I need to make sure that I address prior to the current catalog going away. I decided to take out Cake Me to Paradise and Starburst Sky because they're still in the current catalog. So I can still add them in, again, before that catalog goes away, because they'll probably take those fragrances away from me. So I need to put them back in my club. They have been in my club for a while now, but I just wanted to like toss in a few extra things for the upcoming fall for this one. So let's go. I haven't even opened this. Oh, I love these. Do you guys keep these ice packs from Scentsy? They're so handy. We always use this in our coolers and stuff. These are really nice ice packs. Anyway, thanks, Scentsy. Now I have another. All right, how many bars of apples and oats do we have in this one? We have 3. So this bar here actually was my half price item. I know, that's absurd. I should have done like a brick or something, but I figured I would just pop this in as a half price and beef up my apples and oats collection a little bit. The label is different from the other, well, it's not vastly different. Well, Scentsy is redoing all their branding anyway, so these are all gonna look different in the future. But anyway, this is the older label here, and this is the newer one, I guess, from this Bring Back My Bar, I guess. Anyway, cool, it's just so good. Listen, if you have not purchased this one, if you can still get your hands on it, you really should. This is the best apple scent that I think I have in both my wax and candle collection. I just really love this one. I think it's really delicious. So gonna put those in my apples and oats pile. I'll probably regret this, but listen, I used to have 7 bars of happy birthday in my club, and I did move it down to 5 bars. So now I'm only getting 5 bars of happy birthday in my club, but I will not remove any more. I refuse. This is one of my favorite all-time fragrances ever, and it just comes around very rarely. It smells like funfetti birthday cake to my nose. To most other people, apparently it smells like chocolate marble cake, but not to me. It's funfetti birthday cake, and I love it, and I don't ever want to be without it. So we're gonna put that into the happy birthday pile. I always have at least 10 bars of this on hand. In fact, right now I probably have like 15 bars. I've got a little bit of a backup stash, but you see this quite frequently because I really do like to use it. Okay, I have, oh, I was gonna say, where's my stroopwafel? It was in here upset. I have my stroopwafel delight. This is another one of those discontinued fragrances that I don't think they should have ever discontinued. This is Stroopwafel Delight, and it smells exactly like a stroopwafel. What is a stroopwafel? First of all, if you've never had one, where have you been? It is delicious. So this is like a European treat. I think, are they from Belgium originally, or the Netherlands? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. They're delicious. So it's 2 really thin, waffle wafers that are glued together with caramel in the middle. Just a thin layer of caramel. And then you just eat those with your morning cup of coffee, and they're delicious. They're so good. The best thing to do is once you pour your coffee, get your little stroopwafel out. Usually they're round, and they're a little bigger than a coffee cup. And so you just set it on top of your coffee cup, and the heat from your coffee will kind of melt that caramel and make it a little bit gooier. If you've never done that, you're welcome. You should do that every fall morning. I mean, it's a lot of sugar, but they're so good. I love stroopwafels. Anyway, this is incredibly authentic, and I'm excited to be able to start melting this soon because 'tis the season soon. 2 almond croissant, which is my must, and then, oh wait, it looks like I only added 1. 1 more of the Emerald City Wicked Bar. Now, I did get, this is absurd. This was a lot, but I did get 18 in that haul. So I have a lot of bars right now, and I need to really be careful because it's gonna limit what I can order when the new catalog comes out, and I'm definitely curious to see what's coming down the pipeline for fall and winter for Scentsy this year. So yeah, I gotta start going through some of this happy birthday, some of this wicked, some of this almond croissant, because I've got a good amount of it now. So anyway, that is my Scentsy situation. Next, let's talk about the candles that I was burning this week. Just a quick heads up before we get into the candles here. I'm filming this pretty late in the afternoon, and the sun is kind of coming around to the back of the house here. So it might get significantly brighter here over the next few minutes. And it's also about to get significantly hotter. This is the back bedroom of the house here. And even though we do have one of the largest residential units that you can buy in terms of air conditioners, it still struggles to keep the upstairs of the house cool. We do have a good number of trees around us, but most of them are in a position where it's not really helpful in the later afternoon hours. So if you see me with just sweat pouring off of me, it's because the sun, when it beats into this room, it heats it up so fast. It's crazy, you guys. So anyway, I need to finish up this video is I think the moral of the story here. But let me go ahead and talk to you guys about the candles that I was burning this week, mostly after work. I did light a couple of candles in the morning before leaving, but for the most part, I've just been burning in the evening hours. So I'm gonna start with a non-fall or Halloween candle. This is one that I am trying to finish up because I really am transitioning over to fall scents at this point. But I do want to enjoy the last little bit of my Kringle Sea Breeze here. So this, and then the 2 candles that you saw burning downstairs earlier, those are the like summer candles that I'm looking to finish up here in the next week or 2. But Kringle Sea Breeze has been a staple for me during the summers for the last couple of summers. I fell in love with this when it was first released, and I'm so glad that it has stuck around. And I'm really glad that they put it in the 4 wicks. It was actually one of the first fragrances that they put into the 4 wick format, and it's so good. It's definitely more of a perfumey coconut. It's not an edible coconut, but it is delicious, and it really does give you that like salty ocean air, like that beachy air type of vibe. I love that. This is amazing, and you'll see me burning more of this next summer. I do still have one more 4 wick that I purchased this year during a really good sale that I can have on hand for next year. And I have a bunch of the 2 wick tumblers in the Sea Breeze fragrance as well. So I'm probably set for next summer, but I'm sure if there's a good sale coming up, especially around like after the holidays at Kringle this year, if there's some Sea Breeze on clearance or a major discount, I'll probably bite at that, because that's one of those fragrances from Kringle that I think is gonna be a love of mine for many years to come. So in terms of the rest of these, it's mostly a lot of fall and Halloween. This is my one transitional fragrance that I did light up one evening this week. In fact, I think it was Wednesday that I lit this one up after getting home from work. It is my beloved Warm Vanilla Sugar from Bath & Body Works. I love it. I'm kind of nursing this one along because it is usually an online exclusive. Every once in a while, my local Bath & Body Works stores do have it in stock. I love this particular fragrance. It's been a love of mine for years. I used to love the body care in this particular fragrance. I don't really use much of the body care from Bath & Body Works anymore. I do still purchase the fine fragrance mists, but the lotions and shower gels, not quite as much. But yeah, I love this one. It makes a great year-round fragrance. I think it's also one of those fragrances that helps you transition from the summer into the fall. It's just lovely. It's warm, it's cozy, it's inviting, it's comforting. This really is a comforting fragrance for me. And sometimes when I'm really stressed, for whatever reason, that's the smell that can kind of mellow me out a little bit. So yeah, it's a good one to light up after work, I tell you what. So in terms of other candles that I was burning this week. Now, I am still needing to review the Kringle fall candles. All of them have been burned to the halfway point. I just need to film those reviews. Those reviews are probably gonna start going up the week after this next week here, because most of this next week you're gonna see the Boo Crew and Spellbound collection in-depth reviews. Those I think are a little bit more timely in that the launch is coming next week. But you guys, look at how far I have gotten into this project. Obviously, I'm gonna need a backup here very shortly. Which fragrance do you think it is? Guys, it's the Vancouver Cabin. I love this one. Now, the notes for this one are bergamot, cedar, balsamic, patchouli, moss, and amber. So to my nose, this is very much one of their conceptual perfumey types of fragrances. But holy cannoli, is this a good one. I love this particular bergamot that's in here. This is the only bergamot that I think that they should ever use. It is so beautiful. I love that cedar note. I love the patchouli. It's the beautiful perfumey patchouli. It's the beautiful warm resinous amber. This is just a perfect fragrance. This is amazing. I love this as a bedroom fragrance. I've been burning this in our downstairs powder room. It's a little too potent to be a powder room fragrance, but I've been burning it in there anyway. We've had people over for dinner a couple times when I've had this burning in there, and they walk out and they're like, that was a strong candle in there. And I'm like, I know, isn't it delightful? Sorry about that. Anyway, love that one. I can't wait to formally review it for you guys. Yeah, I really do need to get those Kringle fall candle reviews out to you because listen, is it the most like fall fragrance lineup that they've ever come out with? No, not really. In fact, I think they should have done some more fall gourmands mixed in with some of this other stuff, and I think it would have gone over much better. But I'm telling you, some of these fragrances are really, really beautiful. They're a bit more of a year-round type of scent, I guess you could say. Like, I don't think of a lot of these fragrances in the Kringle Fall collection as like fall exclusive, and I'm a pretty seasonal burner. So, but yeah, anyway, I do still think there are some great fragrances in the fall collection that definitely deserve some love. So anyway, I'll start reviewing those here soon. But the reviews that are coming up this next week, I'm gonna film pretty much all of them tomorrow, and then I have some time on Monday after work as well. So I'm gonna knock them all out and make sure that they go up prior to the launch this next week. So August 15th at noon Eastern is when Kringle is releasing the Spellbound collection and the Boo Crew. Now, a couple of updates on those before I get into just, you know, kind of talking about them a little bit more generically here, but the Boo Crew has been changed to a limit of 1 per fragrance. So you cannot buy more than one of the Little Devil. Now, Little Devil, and I'm just using that one as an example, but that one has the Little Devil puppy and the Little Devil kitten. It's the same fragrance, but you can get the little puppy and the little kitten, but you can't get two little puppy devils, if that makes sense. So if you want 2 of that particular fragrance, you're gonna need to get a puppy and a kitten label, if that makes sense. But yeah, so they are limiting the amount that you can purchase of each fragrance to 1 in the hopes that they can spread the wealth a little bit more. So I know there's some people that are going to be disappointed about that, and I have to admit that I'm a little disappointed in that limit. There are so many fragrances in this particular Boo Crew collection that really rocked my world this go around, and I would love to like own more than 1. But I will behave, and I will, well, we all have to stick with the limit. So I plan on shopping this particular launch. In fact, I'm gonna have to like leave my work situation for a few minutes to do this, which is, it's kind of a rough week for this launch to be happening for me work-wise, because we have a big wedding and we have, you know, other events we're doing next week. But I already told my boss there's a launch and I need some backups, and she was like, weird, okay. Anyway, let's discuss. There are 2 of the Boo Crew fragrances, Boo Crew, not Buku, Boo Crew fragrances that I've reviewed already. One that I really loved and one that I was like, what's happening here? So those videos are up. I reviewed the Ghost Stories, which I love. Oh, I love this one. It kind of reminds me of the Bath & Body Works Marshmallow Fireside, same type of vibe. Not an exact dupe of it, but same family. So if you're looking for something similar to that, Ghost Stories is gonna be right up your alley. Like I said, check out the review, it's already up. And then the one that I did not care for, that was a little iffy on cold sniff anyway, but once I lit it, I was like, what is happening here? And I think I'm in the minority on this one, so don't just go based off of my thoughts regarding the bobbing for apples, but it smelled off to my nose once I lit the wicks here. Even on cold sniff now, it smells more along the lines of like a fresher, juicy apple. Like, you can definitely smell some floral aspects in it. But when I lit this, it smelled very similar to Bath & Body Works Apple Flower. Now that was out, I believe, more than 10 years ago at this point, but Apple Flower did the exact same thing for me, where on cold sniff, I liked it a lot better, but once I lit it, I smelled this weird chemical, like kerosene type note. This fragrance, Bobbing for Apples, did the same thing for me, and I don't know what causes that. The notes are tangy apple, juicy pineapple, creamy peach, sun-kissed melon, intoxicating hyacinth, sugared amber, earthy applewood, vanilla crystals, and sensual musk. I don't know what here is going wrong for me, but it does really have the same effect and a very similar fragrance to that apple flower from Bath & Body Works. And it doesn't smell right. I don't know what it is. Even smelling it now, if it smelled like this when I was burning it, not that it would be my favorite of the lineup, but I would at least probably enjoy it, but it really does smell like kerosene when I'm burning it. I don't know why. So, like I said, there are other people other reviewers who received the collection who do not smell that. So, I don't know. I have no idea. Obviously, our noses are all different. We all kind of pick up different things, and I'm in the minority on this one. But for me, I'm gonna have to try to melt this to see if it smells better in my candle crock. Sometimes if something smells funky when it's burning, I can stick it in a crock and it smells a heck of a lot better. So I'll be putting this one in my crock, and next week I'll let you guys know how it does in there. But yeah, bobbing for apples was a big miss for me, which is a bummer, because like I said, on cold sniff, it really wasn't that bad. But this Ghost Stories, oh yeah, I'll be getting another one of these for sure. Anyway, I didn't bring all of these candles up because I have to carry them all upstairs and then all back downstairs, and I didn't want to do that. But anyway, I love this Boo Crew collection. This is the launch that I am most excited about, and this one smells so good. This is a delicious gourmand, and I think a lot of people, really either liked the kitty or the puppy, so the label was really popular with this one, but I think this particular fragrance is one that the vast majority of people are really gonna love. So yeah, it's a true gourmand. I still need to review this one. I'll be reviewing the puppy, Ruckus. His name's Ruckus. But yeah, this kitty is really cute too. Listen, I love cats. I love all animals, but I am much more of a dog person than I am like a cat person. But I do love kitties, trust me. When I see a kitten in the wild or at someone's house, it's coming into my arms and I'm, just putting the kitty in I love cats. They're so cute. I had a cat for a very long time. I do miss my cat Sophie immensely. But when she passed away, we decided to not get another cat, and we're sticking with the dogs going forward. But sometimes I definitely do miss having a little kitty cat in the house. I know Stella does. Stella and Sophie were really good buddies together back in the day. So anyway, sucks when your pets pass on. It's the worst. There's my buddy. I still miss him so much, you guys. That is Mr. Kong right there. That is who my channel is named after. So if you were ever wondering what the name was all about, if you're newer around here, that was my first pug ever, Mr. Kong, and next to him in the picture is Penelope. Penelope she's 6, she's downstairs. Penny's living her best life, but yeah, he trained Penny on the ways of being the boss of the house. And I tell you what, Penny took over that role like nobody's business. But anyway, that's enough dog talk. Also, the Spellbound collection, I've been burning these. This one I have burned the least, but I really love this fragrance. I need to burn this one a little bit this evening. Actually, this is the Abundant Blessings. You guys, there is a honey note in this one that is so delicious. This, I am actually tempted to save this fragrance, well, most of it, after I review it for next spring. This would be such a beautiful springtime honey scent. There's a little bit of a floral aspect to this one. There's orange flower in here, which is so well done. There is the wild honey. There's a little bit of bergamot for just a little touch of perfuminess. There's a tiny hint of spice in here, and there's also a little bit of like a citrus vibe as well. But for my nose, this is mostly just a really beautiful sweet honey mixed with orange flower, and it's so good, you guys. Also, the Spellbound collection, let me give you guys the update on this one. So Kringle has decided to lower the price point from $30 to $25. I think they were hearing the feedback about these jars, and so they decided to go ahead and reduce the price down to $25. Now, I still imagine that the vast majority of you are probably not gonna go for this collection. It's fine, I totally get it. Sometimes there is a collection that just doesn't go over well. I don't mind these jars. They're not necessarily my favorite. I definitely prefer this style of jar, or obviously the HomeWorx are like my super faves, but yeah, this is a pretty basic plain jar, but it works. I think the strength and throw that I'm getting from these Spellbound candles is actually quite good. But some of the fragrances aren't necessarily super Halloween-y, I guess you could say. But I think they're interesting fragrances. I imagine that a lot of you guys are probably gonna pick up this particular collection once Kringle starts to clearance it out. Probably the week of Halloween, I imagine that Kringle will put whatever is left from Halloween 2025 on sale or on clearance, if you will. And when that happens, I would highly suggest picking this one up if you're not gonna pick it up at the launch. So anyway, this Abundant Blessings, I think, is definitely one of my favorites, besides the, what's the one that I showed you in the bathroom? The holiday tree one. Again, I think that would make such a great Christmas scent. The fragrances are, they're a little bit kind of all over the place, I will say, but they are really good. So anyway, for what it's worth, I will be reviewing these Spellbound collections. I don't have any videos out about these. And as you can see, this one, I've only burned it twice. I need to get at least one other burn out of it. The others I've actually burned just a little bit longer, but that's everything that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. Let me know what you're burning and melting in the comments down below. Subscribe if you're new, give this video a thumbs up, and I'm gonna get out of here because it's hot. I gotta go. All right, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.